As we mentioned in our video earlier today, a lot of noise around the club has been with potential signings and sales the Hoops might make this summer. One story that seems to be ongoing is the future of one of our star players, as it appears his contract talks have stalled. In this video, we will go over this story whilst going all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Newcastle United have been handed an allocation of 7,200 tickets for their pre-season friendly against Celtic at Parkhead on Saturday, July 19th, 2025. The Geordie support will pack out the traditional away section in the corner of the Lisbon Lions stand and North stand, with thousands expected to make the journey north for what promises to be a lively summer clash between the League Cup winners of Scotland and England. The fixture will also see Eddie Howe finally take his place in the Celtic Park dugout, just not in the way some might have once imagined. The Newcastle boss famously held talks with Celtic in 2021 and was widely expected to take over following Neil Lennon's departure, only to pull out of the deal late on. Celtic would go on to appoint Ange Postecoglou, who led the club to 5 trophies in 2 seasons and restored domestic dominance. Now, Howe will arrive at Parkhead in charge of a Newcastle side buoyed by their Carabao Cup triumph earlier this year, where they defeated Liverpool 2-1 at Wembley to end a 70-year wait for domestic silverware. Celtic, for their part, lifted the Viaplay Cup in December with a 2-1 win over Rangers and have since gone on to secure the Premiership title. With a Scottish Cup final still to come, Brendan Rodgers' side could head into the pre-season showdown as treble winners. Now for the main story. Maeda has confirmed that talks over a new Celtic contract are on hold until the club's treble bid is complete, with the Japanese forward fully focused on finishing the season strong. The 27-year-old, who flew back to Japan for personal reasons last week before returning to play a full 90 minutes in the Glasgow derby, has been one of Celtic's standout performers this campaign. He capped it off with a clean sweep at the club's Player of the Year awards, picking up top goal scorer, Players Player of the Year, and Men's Player of the Year, followed by a PFA Scotland Player of the Year award voted by his fellow pros. Despite being under contract until the summer of 2027, Celtic boss Brendan Rodgers has expressed interest in tying the tireless attacker down to a longer-term deal. Reports from Parkhead emerged that the club were trying to iron out a new deal, and Brendan Rodgers said that initial talks had begun. Maeda has acknowledged those talks but insists nothing will be finalised until after the Scottish Cup final. This is what he said: "Yes, the gaffer spoke to me about it, but there are still some games to be played this season, so I just want to focus on them. We still have the Scottish Cup final to play for this season, so I don't want to focus too much ahead. I want to focus on that. I know this number of goals is not easy to achieve, so I don't want to think too much about this being the objective for next season. I would like to focus on everything, including goals, and then in the end maybe I can achieve something," Maeda concluded. Maeda is locked in on finishing the job at Hampton, and contract talks can wait. The treble is the target now for the player, in what could be the second in his Celtic career. In other news, Brendan Rodgers sent a personal message of congratulations to John McGlynn after the Falkirk manager secured promotion to the Premiership with a 3-1 win over Hamilton Academical on Friday night. The result confirmed Falkirk as Scottish Championship champions, ending a 15-year absence from the top flight. The Bairns, who had been stuck in the lower leagues since 2010, have enjoyed a stunning revival under McGlynn, winning back-to-back promotions and sealing the title in style. McGlynn's achievement was recognised over the weekend when he was named PFA Scotland's Manager of the Year, edging out Rodgers and other top-flight bosses for the honour. The former Celtic scout and analyst worked under Rodgers during the Irishman's first spell in charge at Parkhead and revealed that the Celtic boss was quick to send his congratulations after Friday night's win. McGlynn said, "I got a really nice text from him on Friday evening, but I got about 300 texts over the weekend. It's crazy, absolutely bonkers. He's very supportive, he's a great guy, and I learnt so much from him," he said. McGlynn worked in recruitment and opposition analysis during his time at Celtic, initially under Ronnie Daler and later under Rodgers, where he studied both domestic and European opposition. His time at Lennox Town left a lasting impression, with the Falkirk boss often speaking of the tactical insight and preparation he took from working alongside the current Hoops manager. With Celtic chasing a treble and Falkirk returning to the Premiership, both men have enjoyed memorable seasons. In other news, newly crowned Manager of the Year John McGlynn has credited his time at Celtic as a key period in his managerial development, following Falkirk's promotion-clinching campaign and return to the Scottish Premiership. It was back-to-back promotions for the Bairns, who will now compete in the top flight for the first time in 15 years. McGlynn was hired by Celtic as a first-team scout in January 2015 during Ronnie Dealer's time in charge. He stayed on after Brendan Rodgers took over in 2016, and the current Falkirk boss was later handed a vital opposition analysis role by Rodgers himself. McGlynn said this: "I learned a lot at Celtic. Initially, for the first 18 months, I was working in recruitment with John Park and the recruitment group. Ronnie Dealer and John Collins were the manager and assistant manager. They were good to work with. Then Brendan came in. There was a little bit of connection because of the Hearts and Liverpool tie, and Brendan Rodgers wanted me to look at the opposition, which was an amazing job," he explained. "To learn from him, but not only to learn from him, I was watching domestic and European opposition, so I'm watching Man City, Barcelona, PSG, I'm watching the whole lot, and on a daily basis, I'm watching the Celtic players training. I was never on the training pitch, never ever. It was an office job, but I could look and see what they were doing. I was in meetings with Brendan, I understand what he looks for, and I see the way the team can play. You would have been stupid not to learn. I learnt so much, and I've managed to put that into the teams I've worked with since," he said. The former Hearts and Wraith Rovers manager forged a working link with Rodgers, thanks in part to their shared background at Tynecastle and Anfield. The Irishman soon tasked McGlynn with studying domestic and European opposition, an experience that left a lasting impression. Having guided Falkirk to successive promotions and back into the top flight after 15 years, McGlynn's grounding at Celtic during a transformative era now looks like a crucial foundation for his success on the touchline. Brendan Rodgers has spoken highly of the manager in the past, and now he could be set to face him up to 4 times next season, but will it be as Falkirk boss? He's been linked to take over the job after Neil Critchley was sacked. Lastly, Dyson Maeda has revealed the personal and physical toll of his recent trip to Japan, admitting the demands of long-haul travel took their toll ahead of last weekend's Glasgow derby. The Celtic forward jetted back to his homeland last week, expecting to be present for the birth of his child. However, the baby hadn't arrived by the time he returned to Glasgow on Friday, trained on Saturday, and started Sunday's match at Ibrox. He then spent Sunday night at the Doubletree by Hilton, collecting 4 awards across the club's ceremony and the PFA one. Speaking about the hectic schedule, Maeda said, "It was a difficult trip this time because of the time difference and all the travel. It took a lot for me to go back and forth, so yeah, now I plan just to stay here for the rest of the season. I was expecting my baby to be born in Japan, but still he hasn't been born yet, so it was a bit difficult with the travel and everything. But the manager used me against Rangers and I was grateful for his trust. At that moment, physically it was very tough, I couldn't do much. I wish I could have scored that one, but overall, what we have done this season has paid off. We have won the league, and I'm very happy about that," he concluded. Despite clearly not being at full sharpness, Brendan Rodgers placed his trust in the 26-year-old by starting him at Ibrox, a decision Maeda appreciated, even if he admitted he was running on fumes. That one was the last gasp chance to win the game, when Maeda surged through but failed to square to Johnny Kenny or finish past Liam Kelly, a moment that could have sealed a derby win for the champions. Despite that miss, Maeda's overall contribution this season has been immense, and he was quick to reflect on the bigger picture. With the Scottish Cup final still to come, Maeda's focus is now fully on finishing strong. Best of luck to him and his family. He'll be buzzing to hopefully win the treble before returning to Japan. What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribed to the channel for more Celtic content.